Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am going to be talking about my reading goals for 2020, or kind of my bookish goals for 2020. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you'll be alerted every time that I post new videos. And I am going to jump right into my goals because there are some things on here that I am really excited about and that I think are going to really boost my reading experience for this next year. I put 10 goals on here, but it's not really, it doesn't seem like that much because a lot of them are kind of similar. I just wanted to make them fairly specific so that I could measure them and see if I'm actually meeting my goals as I go along. I kind of like this whole, science, hard facts kind of goals. These are the type that I enjoy setting. I know that's not for everyone. Some people like to have quite a bit of wiggle room with their goals, but I like the hard set ones. So let's start with my first goal, and that is just the number of books that I want to read for the year. I decided to set it super, super high because I want to challenge myself, and I would like to read 100 books in 2020. And I know that this is a really high goal considering I read just over 60 in 2019, but really I didn't start reading a lot in 2019 until kind of the mid to end 2019 when I got more involved in, when I even started doing Bookstagram, and then I started BookTube kind of at the end of the year. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to read quite a bit more in 2020 because I have so many more books that I'm excited about. Now that I'm involved in all these kind of bookish communities, I get a lot more recommendations of books. I see books that I think are going to be awesome, and so I think that I'll be able to read more in 2020. The next 4 goals actually kind of are very similar, but I wanted to set specific goals for each of them. The first one is I want to read 1 classic per month, or just kind of 12 classics throughout the year. So then if I have a month where I miss a classic, I can make up for it in the next month without failing my goal. So I guess 12 classics throughout the year, which is averaging to about 1 per month. So, well, not about 1 per month, literally 1 per month. There's 12 months, guys. I can count. I know what I'm doing. So I want to read more classics, and I'm not going to limit myself to what types of classics they can be. I am feeling like this might be a pretty broad area for me to jump into. I just would kind of like to read a little bit more of the classics. I know this is an extremely common goal for people to set, but I've loved so many classics, but then I've had so many that I disliked so much as well. So I think I want to just really pay attention to when I'm reading the classics and try to figure out which ones I like the best. So I will read more along those lines. I just would like to read classics that I enjoy instead of reading ones I don't enjoy and then thinking I don't like classics when really it's just the types of classics I'm reading. The next one that kind of talks about the types of books I want to read as well is I would like to read 5 nonfiction books this year. And that can be anything nonfiction. It could be self-help. It could be something for work that I have to read. It could be like some science book. I don't know. Anything nonfiction, memoirs, things along those lines. So I would like to branch a little bit into that, but not a huge amount. So only 5. I think that's a doable goal for me, and I won't get burnt out on them. And also, I would like to read 5 self-published books this year. So my sister self-published her book last year, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great book. I thought it was just as good or better than some really hyped books that are published out there and people absolutely love. So I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of books that are great that are self-published just because they don't get the publicity that books that come from publishing companies do. So I would like to try to read at least 5 books that are self-published this year, which I'm hoping one of them will be the sequel to my sister's book that is supposed to come out this year as well. So that is one goal that I think will really help me to branch out in my reading. It'll probably still be in the fantasy genre because I love those, but maybe not. We'll see. I just would really like to get into a little bit more self-published books because I think I've only read like 1. I've read some books that were self-published originally and then were picked up by publishers later, but I really think I've only read 1 that is just self-published and has stayed self-published. So I definitely would like to jump into that. And also, I would like to read 10 tomes this year. So if you don't know, a tome is a book that's over 500 pages. And I do read quite a few long books, but I think sometimes I get intimidated by the super long books like Brandon Sanderson or the Wheel of Time series or things like that, like George R.R. Martin, because they're just so long and I know they're going to take so much of my time. And I know that a lot of those books are hard for me to get into because a lot of the tomes are high fantasy books. So it takes me a while to get into them. And sometimes I get 100 pages in before I'm really super invested in the story. And 100 pages is a lot to commit yourself to in order to get invested, to figure out if you will be invested in a story before you can DNF it. So I would like to read 10 tomes this year. I might potentially read more. I'd like to, because I'd like to get into a lot more of the adult high fantasy genre this year. But that is my goal, and I'll definitely be keeping a tally as I go throughout the year to make sure that I hit that one. And to kind of help myself to accomplish these goals that I've set, I would like to use audiobooks more. I feel like I don't use them as much as I should, and if I did utilize audiobooks better, then I'd probably be able to enjoy more books. I'd be able to get to more books, and that is something that I think would really benefit my reading, especially if I can kind of narrow down the audiobooks that I enjoy, if I can watch videos and figure out which ones I will actually like, because I think the narrators will sometimes make it so I don't enjoy books as much when I would have liked them better if I'd read them like physically. So I would really like to read more audiobooks, but kind of be selective about the audiobooks that I do listen to so that I do enjoy the books, because I like audiobooks when they're well done. I loved listening to the Name of the Wind audiobook. I love listening to the Illuminae files on audiobook. So I think I need to just be pickier about the audiobooks that I listen to and then use those more consistently. The last 4 goals that I have for this year are kind of booktube, bookstagram kind of goals. So my book social media things that I would like to improve on. And the first thing is I would like to be more consistent in my posting. I'd like to post on a schedule, especially here on BookTube. I think that I would like to post on Mondays and Fridays. And then if I want to throw other videos in there, I can as well. And maybe if I start feeling more confident in doing more videos a week, I can schedule that as well and kind of announce that, hey, I'll be posting more often. But I think for now, I'd like to set it to a Monday-Friday schedule and just see how that goes for me. And on Instagram, I think I want to actually schedule my posts in an app so that they'll be scheduled to post at a certain time. So on days that I'm super busy, or especially because I work nights, it's nice to schedule it ahead of time so it posts during the day instead of me posting at like 2 a.m. when nobody is on Bookstagram. So I think being more consistent and posting more consistently. So Mondays and Fridays for BookTube, and I would like to schedule or just regular post if I'm awake during the day and not busy, at least 4 times per week. So 4 times a week for Instagram and 2 times a week for BookTube. If I do more than that, great, awesome, but those are my goals for what I want for as a minimum. Another goal that I really would like to accomplish is I would like to do more buddy reads this year. I would like to do at least 10 buddy read books this year, and that can be either I'm reading them for a kind of book club that I am taking part in on BookTube or on Bookstagram or just in my regular life, or just buddying up with people on BookTube and just one-on-one reading them. I've kind of discovered that I'm not very good at doing this. I will read it and discuss it when I'm done. Like, we'll talk about what we're excited for at the beginning, and then when I get done, I'll be like, hey, I finished, this is my thoughts. But I want to be able to kind of discuss it throughout the reading process so that we're actually reading it together instead of just starting at the same time, and then after we're both finished, we talk about it. So I would like to do that and do at least 10 and improve my buddy reading process. So I'm actually buddy reading it and I'm better at it. Another goal that I would like to do this year is I want to participate in the Magical Readathon Owls and Newts. I think they're in April and August or something along those lines. I'd have to look them up. But I worked really hard the last few months of this year to catch up on my Owls and Newts for the last 2 years. So I want to participate in the Owls and Newts Year 3 when they're actually happening so I can be a part of it, because I think these are extremely fun readathons. I love Harry Potter, and so I really want to be a part of that. And I put a lot of effort into catching up, so I don't want to waste that. So I want to successfully complete my Owls and Newts this year. And along those same lines, and my final goal for this year is I would like to create my own readathon. Now, I know that I don't have a ton of viewers and I don't have a lot of people following me, so this might not be as big or popular of a readathon, but I still want to do it. I think it's just extremely fun and it helps to grow community, and I want to have the discussions with people. I want to have that sense of community, like having friends on BookTube, and I think maybe creating a readathon would be helpful, but also I think I would enjoy doing it. This is something that I think would just be extremely fun, and mostly I think it'd be fun because I already have an idea for it, so I'm not stressing over thinking of what type of a readathon to create. This readathon I want to make it kind of accessible to a lot of people, so I want to make it so just reading like 4 books, you can complete the readathon 4 books in a month. Or if you are one of those who loves to challenge yourself in readathons, I want to make it able to challenge people as well. So I want to try to make it pretty broad, but I am excited about this. I have ideas, and so I would like to be able to do that sometime this year. I haven't quite decided when yet, maybe like May or somewhere along those lines. We'll see what my schedule looks like so I can actually, be free-ish to participate in my own readathon. So those are my goals for 2020. I have set some pretty high ones and then also ones that I feel like are extremely doable. So I have some that are going to be a lot of work for me, and then some that are going to just be out of the norm for me, but also very accomplishable, able to be accomplished. So we'll see how my 2020 goes. I would love to know some of your guys' goals for 2020 as well. Let me know down in the comments, how many books are you planning to read this year? Are you planning on not counting books this year so it helps you to feel more enjoyment in your reading instead of stress? What kind of things are you hoping to get through this year in your reading life? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me and you want to see how my goals actually go this year, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll be able to see my videos as they come up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.